also am a lizard, so I like it super hot. Not gonna lie, 94 does not scare me for a market. Scares the people. I should be prepared for this. There we go. Hello. It is another video, market recap video. I am Jen. This is Space for Sunflowers. If you are new, welcome. So happy to have you. If you are not new, welcome back. I'm not gonna lie, I'm happier. You're back. Yay. Happy to have you either way, but very happy if you are a returning friend. So, another week, another market. Lacking of people. Where are all the people, guys? Like, where did they go? You know what? I bet they're enjoying air conditioning because it was hot. It was a hot day at this market. Let's jump right in.
Okay. Let's do a quick walk around the booth. I did things a little bit differently today because I'm on the corner. So I leaned back out. I'm also sitting for the most part. But I've actually got two entrances into my booth this time. And then I used both sides of this table so that people, as they walk up, can see a sample of things that I might have. And then they could also come in this way. Which works out really, really well. I like it a lot, having two entrances into the booth. I'll say on that. Well, let's talk about what I made this week, which are right up here, these little frogs and hats. This is a paid pattern. I think it's by Crochet Gifts, but I will make sure to link it down below. And I did two of the variations. It comes with 4, and I did, of course, the sunflowers and the strawberries. Super cute. I also got a new sign for my fidget flowers and garden poppers, so I don't have to have the price tags messing up the look of the basket. And that's it.
So, market details. This was a Goats and Greens farmers market in Nightdale. It's at a farm called Haven. It's super cute. It's got a great outdoor space. It has goats that you can go feed, and play with. There's also a donkey that I heard donkeying. Is that called braying? Is that what donkeys do? It was making the donkey noise. So, very loudly. So that was all going on. Lots of great vendors were there. The market was a short one, it was quick, but the people just were not there. I will say the market was from noon to 3 on a Sunday. It was hot. It was 94, 93, somewhere around there degrees at this market. It was hot. I don't know if that kept the people away. I heard rumblings that there was Artsplosure, which is a really big like art festival, was also going on that day. So was it another victim of scheduling? Who knows? We're also running like straight up into Memorial Day next weekend. Not this weekend, or is it this weekend? I think it's this weekend. It's this weekend. So who knows? We might just have summer mode already on the brain for most people. The organizer, great communication. It was, you can pull right up to your spots, unload, set up everything. I was in kind of a rush, not gonna lie. I had come in hot from the beach myself. We were there for a sports tournament for one of the kiddos. So I came all the way from the beach, about 2.5 hours away that morning for the market. So I was kind of frantic setting up, very hot. Got it all done in time though. I did a completely, as you saw, different configuration for my booth. Um, and that was a game time decision because I found out I was on a corner. They put a center island together since the time they sent out their map. So they sent out the map, and then it looks like they reconfigured some of the booth spaces and they put people in the center, which hadn't been the case at the last market that I did there in March. So that was a little bit different. Wasn't mad about it. I thought it looked great. I thought it was a great configuration. It looked very full, um, which was always good for people pulling up. There's like a wall of tents. There were 40 of us. I was number 40 on the spacing layout. So, I mean, 40 vendors at this market should have been great. I know there was one other crocheter there. It was Christine. Always loved doing this market with her. So never an issue. We started off doing markets together. So we don't have much in the way of overlap. Our stuff is very complementary to each other. So never an issue when we work a market and it's the same market. I think there was one other crochet vendor that was there though. So, I mean, is what it is. But again, the highlight or the low light, as it were, was no people. So 3 hour markets, I had a total of 6 sales in 3 hours. The sales I made were good ones. I always break down my my average transaction. It was $20, and I'm just pulling it up because of course my stuff is right here. So it was $20.17 for the average transaction. I always feel good when it's $20 and above because I have a lot more inventory, more and more inventory every market that's under $20. So whenever I get that average sale up to that threshold, I feel really good about it. The issue was there were just 6 sales. And I will say there were 6 sales because that's kind of reflective of the number of people that walked through the booth. So I feel it was a good showing, a low showing, but a good showing based on how the day went. Again, they're not always going to knock it out of the park and be overwhelming. I was grateful for it being shortened to 3 hours. We had plenty of water. My fan didn't work. I had like tried to get that like sorted beforehand, but I got there and it didn't work. And then I like unscrewed it to like fix it because it's got batteries in it. So I unscrewed the battery cap, tried to fix it a little bit. It started working, but it was on low. So I tried to turn it back on high. Once I screwed it back on, it wouldn't turn back on. So I was like, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. But it was fine. I kept my tent open. The breeze was breezing. It was lovely. I also am a lizard, so I like it super hot. Not gonna lie. 94 does not scare me for a market. It scares the people, which is probably part of the problem. But it doesn't scare me. I'm trying to pull this open, although I think my brain is not exactly braining because I can't find it. There we go. All right. So let's just go through the transactions for the day really quickly. There's not much to say about the market. And also my internet's being slow because it's hot. Still loading. My computer should not be this slow. I should be prepared for this. There we go. Okay, so as I said, 6 transactions, a total of $129.78 collected. Once you take out square fees, which was $4.14, and then the state and local taxes, which was around $10, it comes out to, it was not around $10, it was less than that, because the total net sales was $121. What sold? Market started at noon. My first sale was at 12:22 p.m. It was the Coda Kitty plush that I had made. I knew this one wasn't going to last long. This was its second market and it has sold already. Madeline Mako pattern. I will be making more. Super cute. 1:02 p.m. I sold an axolotl mochi in the Oreo cookie style. This is from Woolly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's gonna be the new dragon. It's either Woolly Amigurumi or Woolly Tunes. I will look it up. And as always, everything will be linked down below. The Oreo cookie version, so it's a white body, black cookie for the hat, and then 2 scrunchies sold with it. These were the last of my regular scrunchies, and they were both velvet style. All I have left are lace scrunchies. So we'll also be making more scrunchies. 1:18 p.m. I sold my Momo. I know this one is Woolly Amigurumi. So freaking cute. This is a Avatar The Last Airbender inspired make, and a little girl came in. She didn't say anything. She was wandering around. She quietly picks up Momo and she goes, "This is the one." And the dad's like, "That's the one, you sure you want?" And she's like, "Yep." And he looks at it and he's like, "Did you know this is Momo?" And he's like, and she's like, "Mm-hmm." Like totally keeping it all inside, but you could tell she was really excited. So it was super cute. Yeah, so I was very happy to see Momo go home to a fellow Avatar fan. 1:58, I sold my last Stingray. This is a DIY Fluffies pattern, I do believe. I don't know why I'm saying words like this because I'm just making stuff up, I believe, at this point. If I got that right, if I didn't, I'm so sorry. The designer is linked below. So I'll be making stingrays. 3 o'clock, I sold a mini frog plush. This was to a man who came in with his Rhodesian Ridgeback dog. I was proud of myself for recognizing the breed of dog because I did confirm when I went home. And he comes in, he goes, "What do you have for $6 I can give my dog?" And I was like, "I have some mushroom pops for $6. That's it. Everything else starts at $10." And he's like, "Well, that's something she won't ruin that in like 5 minutes." I'm like, "Sir, she will ruin everything in this booth in 5 minutes." No, 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 no. It'll last a couple days. She just needs something and I'm on a budget. Okay. And then I'm looking around and I'm like, well, this is $10. This is $10. And then I got to this last mini frog that I had made. And I was like, oh, I do have a $5 frog. He's like, perfect. I'll take it. I hope this works out because my daughter was immediately like, that's a choking hazard for a dog. That's a small plushie filled with polyfill for a big dog. And I'm like, well, I warned him. It's crochet. None of this is made in the intention of a dog chewing on it. So fingers crossed. That was the first. I have had people come in before asking if I make cat toys. And No, I don't make specifically cat toys, but I mean, any of the small plushies could probably be played with by a cat. I just don't put like catnip or anything in it. I grow catnip. I could dry it and stick some in there. I just don't because I feel like that's not the niche that I'm in. I had never had somebody actually purchase something for their pet specifically. So that was interesting. 3:06 p.m., the final transaction, a family came in and bought my last medium size, my bigger medium size rose flower pot plush. And that is all she wrote for this market. Again, the sales that were made were great sales. I sold to the people that were there. I can't sell to people that aren't there. That's how it goes. So I am now going to be on a bit of a break after this for markets. I had back to back weekends in May. My next market will not be until July 5th when I am in for a market at the NC Museum of Modern Art. So I'm very excited for that. It's going to be hot. I kind of think of 4th of July as like a market holiday for some reason. I've never done a 4th of July market myself, but growing up, my town always had like a town-wide vendor market down like on Main Street on the 4th of July. So I always have this association of vendor markets and the 4th of July. So hopefully that is not a specific to my small town growing up thing. And it will be a great market. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's with Triangle Pop Up, who I have vended with one other time in Cary. It was a great market. Um, and I've heard that this location does even better. So very excited. And I'll have to bring my tent. It is the market that's outdoors, but you are not in a tent. They have trees and you're just under the trees. So very excited for that. So in the meantime, I will be sharing makes. It will go back to a make schedule around here, something that's been lacking lately, and I apologize for that. But I will be leaning in hard to the makes in anticipation of that market. I've been sort of just chipping away at inventory, making a few one-off things here and there to see how they sell, but I've got a good idea of what I want to bring to this market. I've also got my application 80% there. I just need photos actually, so it's probably 90% there for a retail space that has opened up spots for I think it's July, August, September timeframe. So I think it's July to October. So that's exciting. No guarantee that I'll get in, obviously, but it has been a goal of mine to start to pursue the retail path. And I'm very excited to see how that goes in my journey. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I know this was kind of a quick one this week, but not much to say. And I will see you in the next one with makes, ocean themed makes.